Good evening, everybody. So good to see so many of you here. I think that's the first time the car park's been blocked on a Sunday night. So, well done. Our medium tonight is Bex Sawyer. Welcome, Bex. And for those of you who are watching us online, you'll be joined later by Claire Pasterfield, who's waiting patiently for you at the moment. I'll now ask Bex to open our service in prayer for us, and this will be followed by the Lord's Prayer.
I'm just going to start by saying good evening. I don't get the chance to serve churches very often. When I do, it's an absolute joy and privilege and pleasure, especially at Christmas. You can't beat being in a church at Christmas. So together we come, all different backgrounds, all different experiences, but the joy of the prayer, the only place to bring us all together. So however you pray, just close your eyes with me, please. Divine Spirit, thank you for bringing us all here this evening. And we come together in the name of love, unconditional love, eternal love. And as we all come together in love, may we all journey together on this sacred path of, as these reunions manifest, they come together. May each and every one of us feel our own loved ones draw close to us. May each and every one of us feel that divine spark of eternity within us. And as we journey together this evening, may all roads lead to that unconditional love and healing. Amen.
Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen. I will now light our church candle and invite those of you at home to light your own candles if you can do so. And as we do this, I invite you to ask your loved ones in spirit to draw close to us now, so that we may feel their love and presence all around us. May this be the candle to enlighten us all, the light of strength and love that spreads all around the world, the fire that enables us to burn out all our pride, our selfishness, and the impurities that are within us. May it be the flame that brings warmth to our hearts, warmth to our families, our neighbours, our friends, and all those around us, and those we meet on our life's journey, and all those who need it most. I ask you now to join me in sending out love and light to all those in need of healing. Loving thoughts and prayers create a strong healing energy that can reach all around the world to all the people and places that need it most. I will begin by reading the names from our church healing book and then offer a healing prayer. And tonight our prayers are asked for Mikhail Antonio and those involved in accidents around Benfleet this week. Darren, Claire, Derrin, Talia, Alfie, Andrea, Tanya, Linda, Anne, Lorraine, Sean, Kevin, Lee, Sarah and family, Jim, Kelly, Annabelle, Bobby, Frank, Vivienne, Alan, Richard, Linda, Alison, Maggie, Dougie, Sonic the Bird, Jill, Ben, Nadia, John, Lucy, Veronica, Francis, Joan, Colin, Terry, Cyril, Billy, Martin, Carol, Bill, Peggy, John, who's passed, Dennis and Mark, Charlie and Mark, Steve, Chris and Gary, Richard, Pat, Helen, Jenny, Dave, Bonnie, and Anne. And the Trimmers family for their recent loss, Tony, Lawrence, Tom, Gavin, Christine, Tracy Bourne, Joan Bourne, Chloe Bourne, Ivy, Molly, Wendy and Paul, Tinkerbell the dog, Starbuck the cat, Bob the dog, Harley the dog, and Brenda. Healing for Charlie, Brian, Dudley and Mandy, Mark, Dean, Emma and Sarah. And Bo the dog and Millie the dog. Dear Heavenly Father, we join together now to send out our thoughts of healing, love and light around the world to all those in need of healing, both physically and emotionally. We ask that it will also reach and protect our animal kingdom and the world of nature that is all around us. We pray that our energy may reach those who are cold or homeless tonight and all those less fortunate than ourselves, wherever they may be. May our thoughts and energy bring love, calm and peace to everybody. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Amen.
Amen.
We'll now have 1 minute silence so that you can send out your own personal thoughts and prayers to those in need, those whose names we've read tonight, and any you may now think of in your own thoughts. And this will be broken by the singing of the hymn, Gracious Spirit, the words of which are in the front of your book. Peter to bring us our Bible reading for this evening. Yeah, I'll beat you up.
Evening all. Lovely to see such a full church and all your angels. We've got some new ones here tonight as well. And welcome to those online. Tonight's reading is about healing. It's a very important part of this church. And Jesus comes to show us the way to heal and explains to us that we all have the ability to heal. Tonight's reading is from Luke 4, but is also in Mark 1. Jesus heals Mary. There are many examples of Jesus carrying out healing in the Bible. There were miracles of his power over disease and mental disorders. His powers were demonstrated in many ways, and in a form that he was teaching the people by bringing the people together at gatherings to listen to his messages and spiritual truth that came direct from his Father God. He made this clear on many occasions. An example of this is in John 14, when he said to Philip, "The words I say to you are not just my own, rather it is the Father living within me who is doing the work." Jesus also said in his scriptures, "What I can do, you shall do also." I see these statements as very important when we consider the many testaments of healing carried out by Jesus. If you are ahead of me, you will recognize that I'm thinking of the healing that goes on in our churches today. Along with the many miracles that Jesus performed, contact healing, the laying on of hands and distant healing, where the sufferer is not present, were always demonstrated and are available to us. As Jesus said, the Father was doing the work through him, and as Jesus is in all of us, he will work through us. But of course, there is more to it than that, which we will try to understand from further readings of the great works of Christ Jesus through his life here on earth. A major part of this undertaking we have seen in our readings, that of spiritual truth. We need to understand it, accept it, and live it. A good start, as we've seen in readings, is brotherhood, sisterhood, love, and some dedication to the work of healing. Tonight's reading is from Luke 4:38 to 44. Jesus heals Mary. Jesus left the synagogue and went to the home of Simon. Now Simon's mother-in-law was suffering from a high fever, and they asked Jesus to help her. So he bent over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. She got up at once and began to wait on them. At sunset, the people brought to Jesus all who had various kinds of sickness, and laying his hands on each one, he healed them. Moreover, demons came out, many people shouting, "You are the Son of God." But he rebuked them, and he would not allow them to speak, because they knew he was the Messiah. At daybreak, Jesus went out to a solitary place. The people were looking for him. When they came to where he was, they tried to keep him from leaving them. But he said, "I must proclaim the good news of the kingdom of God to other towns. Also, because that is why I was sent. And he kept on preaching in the synagogues in Judea. God bless that reading, and thank you.
Thank you, Peter. It's now time for those of you who are watching us online to leave us here in church and be joined by Rob and Claire, who will guide you through the rest of our service. We thank you for joining us tonight and look forward to seeing you all again soon.
You had some peace and quiet for a few seconds, didn't you there? Good evening, everybody. It's lovely. Thank you to Bex and Peter for the first part of the Divine Service. If you are new, please comment down below. We love to say hello and welcome to all those that are new. And if you are new, a Divine Service is about taking time out to make our links and our connections to our loved ones. And part of that is also doing the dress. Now, many of you know I never ever feel eloquent enough when it comes to addresses. So your loved ones and my guide tell me to go off and find a poem, something that we can each take away. There might be a verse within that poem. There might be just the full meaning that you'll be able to take away, especially if I'm at a stage where I can't give everybody a reading. And the reading I did post on my own page, and it came forward. Spirit said you need to use that one, especially so close to Christmas. And I apologize, I don't know them off by heart, so I do have to look slightly away as I read the poem. Now, it doesn't have a name, so I'll leave for you to decide what you would like to call this poem. And it goes, if Christmas is hard, if you've lost someone dear, just look in your heart and you'll know they're still here. In the star in the sky, the light falling snow, the robin outside, it seems like they know. If this is a time when you're struggling through, just do what you can, for what matters is you. There is no need to be merry. There is no need to be bright. Just do what you can. It will be all right. And the reason why my loved ones and my guides and your loved ones have all gathered here this evening to pass on these messages and this poem is because it is so easy to think that Christmas, it should be jolly. We should all be having a happy time, but there are so many of us out there that might not want to celebrate Christmas. We may have lost a loved one in the past couple of days, weeks, months. It might be that Christmas is just a period where it reminds you of things that you have lost. Or it might be just a period where it's just ultra stressful. You're spending the whole entire time trying to make it a magical Christmas for everybody else. And it gets to a point where you're like, what about me? And our poem and our loved ones and our guides and your loved ones are here to remind you this evening that it's okay. If Christmas is for you this year, shutting the door, closing the curtains or blinds, crawling under your duvet, blanket, whatever, and hiding for however many days, that's okay. Do not feel guilty. Time for yourself. If that means bringing people around and having a laugh, if that's what you need for Christmas, you do it. If the pennies are tight, and I appreciate so many people are struggling with the pennies, but you still want to socialise, why not ask your loved ones around? But everybody just bring tokens, something just to make that link and connection with. And for those who have lost their loved ones or who are grieving and struggling at the moment, please know that your loved ones are with you. I know I virtually say it every single time, but these lovely services are about here showing us that there is that connection, that there is that life after life. But it's also the way that your loved ones will connect with you through signs and poems and numbers and lyrics to songs and colours that they may love, or you might hear their name shouted across the street. And it's for somebody else, but in that moment, you just need to hear from Bethany or John or Andrew, and know that the churches are here for you. The spiritual centres are here for you. Yes, they may only be able to be open at a certain time, but us mediums here, if we're here online and we're able to give our time to you, we will give you help. We will support you and try to give you them links and connections to the spirit world. So that even when things are really tough, your loved ones are with you. And remember that final verse with the Christmas poem. There's no need to be merry. There's no need to be bright. Just do what you can. It will be all right. And like I said, I hope that poem is struggling a real bit of reassurance, and I hope them words give you some comfort and upliftment. So that's our address. Now I have to move my phone out the way. And I'd like to say a good evening to everybody. Thank you so much to Lucinda for sharing. Totally appreciate that. I know the church appreciates anybody that shares the page, likes, follows, all that jazz. So we're now going to move into our evening of mediumship. Now all you have to do, thank you very much, Lucinda, all you have to do is comment below. You're welcome to say who you would like to speak to, or if you just want to just put an emoji in comments, hello, whatever works for you. I will allow your loved ones to walk in chatting to me whilst the first part of the service has been going on, so I've instantly got to give names. Now sometimes my loved ones and my guys will come through and they will just start jabbering away, and I have to basically translate that and send that over to you. Sometimes your loved ones will shout at me and tell me I need to go to a particular person. As I have been linking in and asking your loved ones to step forward, I've got a lady with me. She has, she's been talking, she's a real chatterbox, and in the sense of that when she was down here, obviously in spiritual, she's still doing it, but when she got hold of you, you knew that you had to get yourself comfortable because you were in for a chat. And this is a lovely lady, could be a mum or a nan. She's not telling me that part of the relationship, but she would be, you knew that once you were in that door and you were sitting on that chair, you're ready for a chat. Now she's given me the name Rosemary would be significant. She gave me the name Pamela. And I also, what other name did you give me? And I've got a Thomas. So first of all, would anybody able to take or link in with the names Pam, Pamela, Thomas, and Rose or Rosemary? Now, these names may well be, as I always say, up there or down here, but I've been told that these are important names. Okay. Right, this is a lovely lady. As I said, she comes through. When she was here, you knew that when she got a hold of you, you was going to have a chin wag, you were going to have a chat with you. There's also is it Astel, the old-fashioned blue-green, Claire, get your grip going on there, a blue pot. Astel I'm sure it's called Astel hand cream, and I'm not getting myself mixed up with alcohol. I've got the blue creams, the blue hand cream, and I'm sure it was called Astel, but it's a blue pot. She keeps giving me this blue hand cream. Okay, so we've got Lucinda, I can only take Rosemary, thank you very much. And Pamela says, I'm Pam, I can take Rose and Thomas. Okay, Pamela. She was shouting, obviously you're a Pamela, my Astral. Thank you very much, Debs. I haven't got a clue. Thank you very much, Caroline. I was mixing it in with, I'm sure, Asti, and that would be a bit of a mess, wouldn't it, really? Okie dokie. So Pam, I'd like to come and work with you. Thank you very much. Everyone's giving me it's Astral. Thank you. I love it. It's a group community when it comes to me working with spirit at times. So Pam, she's also given me this cream. She's as everybody's helped me out. Astral, because I can see the blue pot and I can see the white writing on there. And she's also telling me that either you, Pam, or somebody around you, if not her, loved Bewitched, because I want to tinkle my nose, so I'm going to tinkle my nose as well. So I've got Bewitched, is it? I want to pass over. Now I know Mandy says she take Rose, Mum's middle name's Tom and Pat. What I will do, if anybody that can resonate with what's coming through, please take it. What I always say is when we're commenting, we're sending up their messages to our loved ones to say, come on down. And as they do come through, sometimes they start chin wagging and chatting around with me. So if at any time anything recognises with it, please take it. She loved Bewitched. Then I'm definitely with it. I just said, can I have something? Pamela, would you understand that you've had conversations about wanting to you do more green? That sounds so funny, but green fingers, because she's talking to me about how and my mum loved to talk to. Brilliant, Pamela. I'm definitely with you then, because she's talking to me about green fingers. And it's either that you've talked about and said, right, do you know what, next year you've got plans for your garden, or you've got plans to get yourself outside, but I know I've got a green fingers. And I don't know whether this is just me being able to pick up the green fingers, but I keep seeing a pair, unless she had them, I keep seeing garden gloves, because she keeps talking to me about garden gloves. She keeps making me do with this hand as well. So I'll see what she's going on with this hand, because I can feel her using my hand. And I keep seeing like pinky whitey gloves. So these could be garden gloves. These could be a version of marigolds. But I keep seeing like pink and white gloves. So there's a significance. But these are like not much of a garden. Okay. Would you okay, but love beauty nature. The gloves are important. So I've got the fingers for you. I'm going to see, because she keeps making me play with my right hand. So I'm going to find out what that's all about in 2 seconds. But there is something about the gloves. So it might be even just bringing some of the garden from the outside in. And if there's been conversations about bringing plot plants and everything else. Right. She keeps making me very much, I feel unsteady with her. So I feel like there was more strength in her right hand, left, right. So I'm dyslexic, so it takes me a little bit of time to work out the left and my right. She's making me feel like one side of her body she was stronger on side. And there is something about my hand. She will not put my hand down. So would you understand, Pam, that before she passed, she didn't feel like she was being listened to, or she would put her hand up? I've got feeling unsteady. I feel like my right side's stronger than my left side. Now, it could be opposite way round, but there is this constant thing. She wants me to put my hand up. So there feels like either before she passed, she felt like she wasn't being listened to, or she would have to put her hand up. There is a significance and importance to the hand. I'm going to give it to you. If it doesn't make sense, that's fine, because I'm kind of half struggling with it as well. I know there's significance there. I'm going to ask you to bring my hand down. But what I would ask for you, Pamela, if that doesn't resonate with you at the moment, just hold on to it, because it might make sense later down the line. It might be you speak to somebody else and they say, oh, yes, you always felt, okay. I just feel like I want to, okay, thank you. It's like, you know, when you're in school and you want to put your hands up, you go, miss, or sir, and you just keep getting ignored. And it's like, that's what I want to do. So it's like I want to had notice being taken of me. Okay. She tells me June is significant unless that's a name, but June would be a birthday, passing, anniversary unless it's a name. Okay, she tells me that August is significant, again, a birthday, passing, anniversary, and October. So the June, the August, and October are significant months for you. She keeps telling me the 13th as well. So this would be a birthday, passing, anniversary in or around the 13th. So the hand's not coming down that much, in or around the 13th. So it may well be linked in with them months, or they may be a separate one, but she keeps talking to me about the 13th. Okay, thank you. I've also got to give you a name, James, Jim, James, Jamie, James. There's a James or a Jim Jam. That's was her brother's name. Birthday, Jim. Whoop, whoop. They're getting there, aren't they, everybody? We're getting better with months and names and months. I do still get excited when things go right. Okay. Pamela, she keeps talking. Thank you very much. She keeps talking to me about everything has a place and everything has a time. So there is this sense of feeling of apprehension at the moment that either you've been waiting on some information or you want some progress to happen and it hasn't come to fruition. I like that word at the moment, but she tells me everything has a place and has a time for it. And there is also significance to everything has a place. So you would remember that Mum and you, she tells me, would always have everything in order. Right, cups would be in the same place, but she's also telling me as a part of a message, everything everything has its place in its right time. So there just may well be around you. If it's not you, it'll be somebody you're supporting. Feel a little bit frustrated that things aren't moving as quickly as you wanted, or something didn't happen this year. And she's like, no, everything in its place and in its time. And she's just coming through just to give you that reassurance, Pamela, that it will happen as it's meant to happen. Okay. What she does want you to do is she's asked you to focus on getting out, trying to stay active, trying to stay fit. And I don't know whether somebody around you or you has been talking about getting your steps in, or whether you've been looking for more steps, because she's joking about that is frustrated. Okay, thank you. Sometime or do that about somebody's walking backwards and forwards, trying to get their steps up. So it might be, Pamela, that you've got to hold on to that if that's not resonating with you. And what I always say with messages, sometimes we end up being the post person ourselves. We have to kind of pass on that message, but that's because we are ones. Thank you. We're supporting our loved ones down here on earth, and we sometimes take on the role of our loved ones that passed. And so sometimes we get a message as if to sort of say, if it's not you, you're supporting somebody else. And yet she's joking about the stairs going up and down, but she's laughing. So anything else? I've got to give you Margaret as well. Now, if Margaret doesn't work for you, Pamela, then it'll be me moving into my next person, but I've got to pass over it. And with that, Pamela, I'm going to say thank you so much for allowing me to work with you. I really hope that's kind of just giving you a little bit of reassurance, even if it does need to go to your sister, because I so understand sometimes we step in the breach for other family members. So thank you very much. Margaret is my mum's best friend. Oh, there we go. Brilliant. It just got Margaret shouted at me. Right. Okay. So as I'm now going to ask for the next person, you're very welcome, Pam. As I'm going to ask for the next person to roll in. Oh, we're singing now, are we? Right. Where are we going? Sorry, I'm looking away slightly because we're rolling on a river. Sorry, I do sing every so often, and I've got this sprite. Okay. Right, I've got a gentleman in spirit. Now, he makes me feel like I can't breathe. So this would be a gentleman. Okay, Lorraine, I'm going to ask you to listen if this is possible for you, for Bobby. Now, I don't know whether Bobby is a girl or Bobby is female or male, but I know I've got to recognize a gentleman, and I'm drawn to you. I'm drawn to you, my lovely. So what I'll do is everybody else listen, but I was drawn to a name that started L, and it was either Lorraine or it was Lucinda. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Honestly, your names go through one ear and out the other. Right. Lorraine, I don't know whether I'm linking with this Bobby, male or female, but what I am getting straight away is I'm getting a tightness in my stomach, like I'm struggling to breathe or catch my breath. Now, like I said, I don't know whether this is Bobby or whether this is somebody that's linked in, but I know it's a male struggling. And thank you very much. And I know there's a gentleman there, so I'm not going to change it, but I've got a gentleman coming in, but I was told I needed to come to you anyway, Lorraine. Now, as I'm linking in with this gentleman, it's making me feel like I'm struggling with to breathe. He's also given me the, if he knew a line, he would make a song come through. So I said, we're going to roll on. Next thing I know, I've got rolling on the river, and I've got do, 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 do. And there's this gentleman in spirit that if you said something that, or a line or something like that, he would always be able to find like a song. Like he's now given me the Eye of the Tiger. So if you had gone and had the Frosties out and said, do you want some Frosties? He'd be singing Eye of a Tiger. So he's given me that feeling that this person, this gentleman, you would always remember, he would always have a song. He just knew a song. He's now singing to me, I'm so in love with you. I do apologise for you lot for me singing, by the way. I do apologise. And I've got to get a less than name. Mum and Dad love to sing. Okay. And I've also got Al Green. Al. So I don't unless the name Alan makes sense to you, but I've got Al and I've got Al Green coming on. So I'm just basically, it's just like this gentleman was a bit of a jukebox. He was a walking Spotify because he would just know lyrics coming through again. Yes, I'm singing. I can't help it. Okay. Now, Lorraine, would you understand, or would it make sense to you about you found an old 5p or something? Because I've got sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye. And then I've got 24 on blackbirds baked in a pie. And I'm pretty sure you didn't do that. But I keep being given like old coins. So I don't know whether somebody collected old coins or whether you saw like an old 1p but the date of it is back like in the 80s or 90s. There's something around you that's happened that is to do with seeing an old coin. Now, that may not make sense to you at this precise moment. That's cool. All I'll ask for you to do is to hold on to it, because you might find that later down the line, in the next week or so, you find a coin and it's really like a big old 5p, it's a sixpence. But I just got as importance to an old coin or old coins is what I'm. Thank you very much. This is them coming through, your loved ones. And like I said, there's quite a few of them all coming through. They're all bouncing in and out, and the loved ones are coming through. Okay. And somebody loved the puzzle. They're all chatting to me, by the way, Lorraine. So I've got several people going ping, 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 ping. Somebody wants to say hi. They love a puzzle. They loved a puzzle. So I don't know if that's your father-in-law, a family member, another family member, Bobby. I don't know. I've just been told, tell the person who loves the puzzles here as well. So I've been told I need to pass that one over, along with liking Sudoku and puzzles, the Sudoku, but also jigsaw puzzles. So I've got to say hello from that person. You've got a few people saying hello to everybody going on. Thank you. They collected old coins. Somebody loves vanilla. If that's not you, somebody else would always be remembered as vanilla, because I'm being told vanilla is significant. They're all jumping in here, Lorraine. I'm allowing them to do it, to be honest, because it just feels like at the moment that's what you need. You need family members both in the spirit world and down here, and they're telling me we're here. And like I said, they are all jumping in. We've got coins going on, we've got vanilla, we've got a walking jukebox going on now, we've got somebody else that loves trinkets, because I've just been told don't forget about the trinkets. It's all about showing you that your loved ones in the spirit world are surrounding you. And there is this feeling at the moment, they're telling me how you're trying to contain it all. And it's like you are either trying to have to be completely put together for everybody, or that's how you feel like you can't wobble at the moment. And your loved ones are saying that we're all around you, we're holding you together. It's like, okay, thank you. They're telling me about the moment that either you feel quite fragile in yourself, or your support is very, very fragile. But it's like, I've got to hold this all together. And it's like this, your loved ones, it's like they're coming through and they're like, and I just want to hold you, Lorraine, like that, to say, right, we're here. And they're coming through to give you that support and allow you that they're around you. Obviously, they're all jumping in and out for you, and you're getting lots of different things. But it's just like, I can see that at the moment that you're having to be strong, or you're having to be like, I'm all right, everything's okay, I'm here. And also they're telling me how they see that you're so open as well, Lorraine. At the moment, there's somebody around you that keeps having the same conversation with you over and over and over again. And you're like, it hurts to have that conversation. Oh, bless you. It hurts to have that conversation, but that other person needs to talk about it. But it also hurts you likewise, my darling. We're all giving you big virtual hugs here, Lorraine. We're all doing it here. And they're telling me that they see it, because you're having to listen to the same conversation to help this person get through it. But either they're too young, or they don't understand that that same conversation brings up emotions within you, and you've got to kind of be there for them whilst also trying to process these emotions. And they are just coming through to give you these big hugs and sort of say you're doing a great job, even if you feel like you're like glass at the moment. And this is the big thing I want to come and give from your loved ones is here. They're like really out of breath. They're making me really out of breath, because it's just a little bit like, whoa, what's going on here? But they're telling me that you're not made of glass, that you are so much stronger than you realize. The strength card in front of me, which can mean Leo for you, but it's also the strength card as well. And you're saying you're so much stronger than you realize, my lovely. Okay. They say, talk it out to us. Rant, shout, scream, cry, laugh, giggle. In them, because they're like, do you know what? We're listening. We're listening. Okay. And they're just sending all this love around you. They tell me that November was significant. So they're telling me last month is important. Could be a birthday, party, anniversary, or it was a significant month. But they're telling me that November's important. They're telling me May is another important passing anniversary, and they're also telling me that February is important. So I apologize, their diaries are just skew iffy up there. And she's also telling me it's a lady that's coming strong for you now, and they're telling me that the 10th is important for you. Birthday, passing anniversary, the 10th is significant as well. So they're just coming in to give you lots of love and reassurance. They're giving me the name Peter for you. Dad's birthday, oh, thank you. They're giving me Peter for you, Peter. They're giving me Dad's giving me Petal for you. So there's a name of terms of endearment for you, sweetie. It's Petal and Sweetie, but they're terms of endearment. Give me another name for her. And I've got a Sophie or a Sarah. There's a lady's name that starts with S, and there's a name like Joe. So it could be boy, male, Josephine, or Joe. But they're just letting you know that they're around you, supporting you. They're just there to look after you whilst you're looking after everybody else. But just let you know that they're there for you. And we all give, well, I give everybody a virtual hug, but they're there to give you that love and support. And we're all here for you all. And with Lorraine, I hope that gives you a message. And I'll just say thank you very much for allowing me to work. Oh, right. Okay, let's go to my next place. It's like a carousel in this room. Right, Lucinda, I remember I said I needed to come to Els, and I'm being told not to forget Lucinda, says my never past daughter is Jo. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Lorraine. So your loved ones are around you coming through. So Lucinda, I want to come to you if that's okay. Lucinda, my darling, would you understand either you or somebody around you has been suffering with dizzy spells? Because unless it's not you, and touch wood it's not you, because I know what it feels like, then you'd be able to understand about somebody else feeling very dizzy before they passed. You're very welcome, Lorraine. Please listen to everybody else, because other things will make sense as well. Because I've got a dizziness. I'm like, woo! Oh, bless you. You've got. I'm with you on that one. They're asking me. They're asking me at the moment, is that there's something around you or a situation around you at the moment. I'll find out who I'm chatting to in 2 seconds, sweetie. That you can't address at the moment. And they're asking you for the time being to try not to get stressed out about it. Now, that's easier said than done. But there is this sense and feeling around you that they're giving me that there's something that you want to either say, you want to get resolved, and it's causing a little bit of stress. Now, whether that's linked to the dizziness, I don't know. I'm no doctor, I'm a PA, and I'm in finance, so there's definitely no medical background for me. But they're asking you, the message straight away for you is that don't get too stressed at the moment about trying to find a resolution, okay? Not everybody's listening, apparently. I've just been said, not everybody's ears are open. So there must be a change that you want to make, you want a decision made, or you want something to happen. But apparently, I'm being told with, they're not listening, their ears are not open, and they're asking you not to get yourself stressed out. And that's the message. Normally, they like to do it the other way around, and then they switch and change. So we'll now find out who I'm chatting to that's passed over this message to get your evidence. We do like to change it up every so often. Okay, right, come through. This is a lady and there is a gentleman coming through. Now, one's really tall and one's small. So I've got I would joke a little and large, but there is one person that comes through quite tall and the other one is a lot shorter. So there was quite a height difference. This could be nan and granddad, mum and dad. One, as I said, one the lady feels, what do you feel like? She feels about like 5'4", 5'5". I'm not great at my heights. And I've got about a 6'1" part. So this is what we're talking about. One being quite in the low 5s and one being at the high, like the low 6s. So it's that kind of high. I'm not going to try and work too hard on it, otherwise it's me talking. But as they're coming in through now, also I've got somebody joking. There's been conversations or laughter regarding somebody down here who just does not know. And I'm not sure about the man. That's fine. It's not a problem. It could be granddad, great granddad. Don't worry. Doesn't know how much. So I put this. I can't get the words out. Would you understand that Mum struggled to get her words out near to when she passed? Because I know what when that happens to me, I know what's in my head and I know what they're saying, but I'm struggling to get the sentence in the right order. So either. And this is what it feels like around Mum. So Mum either felt that she couldn't say what needed to be said, or she struggled to get like her sentence in place. So let me try this. Let me ask her to just put that bit to one side, because sometimes we have to acknowledge that bit. Right. Would you understand that there's a gentleman who down here who never knows how much aftershave to put on, or put on deodorant, because it's like they always put on far too much aftershave or deodorant, and then all she keeps telling me is Brute. Now I don't know whether Brute, I'm sure Brute is a male fragrance, but there is somebody down here, a brother, a partner, a friend, who just does not seem to be able to get the right measure of how much fragrance to put on, because it's just like, whoo, you walk in there, okay, she's laughing, she turns around, it's a bit like a Tart's boudoir at times. So this is just me linking in with you and linking in with her to say that she knows about this person. So you might find it doesn't happen just yet, but you might find you walk into a location and it'll be like, whew, crikey, how much aftershave did you put on, or deodorant or such like? But she's laughing. Okay, she talks to me about teeth. Teeth are important at the moment, Lucinda. So I don't know whether you've been putting off going to the dentist, or whether she had problems with her teeth near to when she passed, because she's telling me about teeth is important. So she's telling me about teeth. Okay, Lisa can understand the male. Now, I know Lucinda says she doesn't understand a gentleman. So Lisa, come back to me afterwards, because it may well be that's your gentleman. Okay, because I know, Lucinda, you couldn't understand the gentleman, but you could understand the mum. Okay. So Lucinda, still working. Oh, yes, I've been putting it off. Still working with you, working with your mum, working with the lovely lady spirit, because she was talking to me about there being an importance to teeth. And somebody has also talked about giving up smoking, because they've talked about how here, if you do that, I don't smoke, fortunately, how obviously a lot of people who are ex-smokers then sometimes struggle with the little lines, the little smoker lines. Now, I don't know whether that was mum or whether that's somebody around you's talked about giving up smoking because they don't want the lines. It's just little things to let you know that she is around you. Okay, there is also an importance to a blanket as well. She's telling me, please talk about the blanket. So there is a blanket that's significant and important to you. She, as much as the message is given to you first, she just wants to throw you loads of little bits of information that you can take away with you. And which is the beauty of this place, is we can watch it come back. But she's telling me there's a blanket that's important. Somebody needs to get their teeth, go to the dentist. The not smoking is important. Yes, it's a blanket. And these are really important things to her, because she tells me that she doesn't get many opportunities. Obviously, I know she's passed, but she's got a wicked sense of humor as well. But she tells me that she doesn't get many opportunities to come through here and just give you these little bit of tidbits, like don't forget this and don't forget that. And she knows about this because she makes me feel that you've been asking for mum to come forward a lot recently, and either you've been on other services or other pages and not been able to get that link. And she's like, well, I'm here now. I'm gonna chat, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you all these little bits. And somebody's got a thing about bows. They've all really like bow tops, or they want to make sure there's bows on puzzles, bows on presents. Or she had a thing about bows because she said to me, tell her about the bows as well. So she just wants to give you lots and lots of little bits of information. She's like, throw this bit in that bit in that bit in that bit, and she just wants to give you all these little bits of information. But there's a significance and importance to bows as well. Okay, there's also a Dior Dior perfume. If it's not Dior, it's I love the bows. I make them. Yes, the bows are important. Oh, she's doing really well. Do you know she kept also giving me with the Dior? She's given me the Cherie perfume. It used to be an old perfume, and that was one of them little square bottle bowls with the little bowls. I can't talk now. One of them square little bottles, and it was a Dior one. I'm sure it was called like Mon Cherie or Cherie or something. And on that had a little bow at the top because she's given me this old, like late 2000 bottle. So I don't. It may not be the perfume I've described as in the company and the manufacturer, the brand, but there is a significance to a perfume bottle as well, because she's talking to me about a bottle that's really pretty and such. She's talking to me about that. So that's important. Okay. She's talking to me and drawing me to me jars up there. I've got a thing about jars and glasses and bottles and things. So somebody loves a glass jar because she's like, oh, she's just like you. Okay, she's also telling you, Lucinda, that the answers are within you, because she's just drawn me to the book of the answers, and she's telling me, Miss Dior, thank you very much, Irene. Oh, we get there. She's talking to me and telling me, Lucinda, the answers are within you. Don't be afraid to say what needs to be said, and please don't be afraid. I know you've got to kind of just sort of take your measure at the moment, but the answers are within you. Right, she's throwing loads of little bits of tidbits. Right, let's come through. April's significant if that's not a name. A birthday party and anniversary. She tells me that May is an important month as well. Again, birthday party and anniversary. And she talks to me about what other month? July. April, May and July would be important birthday parties and anniversaries. I'm giving you no names. I need to give you a name that starts with like, oh, she stopped for 2 seconds. I was like, what are you stopping for? Gloria. There's a Gloria. That's why I'm struggling with that name. Gloria. I've got to give you Gloria. I've got to give you Michael as well as a Mick or a Michael for you. And there is a Max. Maximilian, Maxine. Max is a Max for you as well. So, and you can give me a date. And the 9th. There's a birthday party and anniversary in or around the 9th. So I'm going to pass over them dates and months and names along with Gloria, which is quite an unusual one. And I'm going to leave your lovely mum's love with you. And it was just basically, she's just going to throw loads and loads of bits of information to you as well. And Maxine, I can take. Okay, so we're just now starting to move into mixing with Lisa, because Lisa's gentleman's here as well. So, listen, I'm going to love you and leave you for the moment. And I say for the moment because your lovely mum wants you to know she hasn't gone. It's like, I've just gone for the moment. I'll be back. So she'll come through later, and she's like, I'll be back. So just to let you know, she hasn't gone because she's going to come back later. Maybe not with me tonight, but she will come back. Right, Lisa, now I know you said you could understand the details. Thank you very much, Rob, my co-boss. I understand that you could take some of the details at the beginning. You could take the gentleman, you could take the brute, and you could take the fact that they bathed in it. That's exactly how I wanted to put the word in, but I couldn't find the word bathing. That did not pop into my vocabulary as he was coming through. You're very welcome, Lucinda. And I know you can understand the name Maxine. Okay, I also got to give you the name Georgina, Georgie, but I've got to give you George as well for you, Lisa. Okay, let me talk some names. Broke down. Brilliant thing, because he's coming through. Right. Lisa, would you understand dad or granddad, somebody always having rolling up cigarettes but having the brown tobacco stain on the finger? I don't know whether that's dad or whether that's somebody down here that's got in. There's had a conversation about the tobacco stain, but somebody had a tobacco stain. I don't know whether it's down here or up there. It's just as I'm starting to link in. George is my cousin. Brilliant, thank you. So I'm definitely now I'm with you. I just said, can you give me something to link in with you? Right, okay. And there's this feeling he's talking to me about at the moment. It's a little bit like, get through today, bedtime, flop back into bed, wake up next day, get up, I need to get through that day. And it feels like you're on a treadmill at the moment, and smoke's okay, the partner rolls up, the smoke's okay. And your lovely dad is telling me that you need to jump off this treadmill, that you're on this treadmill far too much, because your dad is sort of telling me that you get up, do a list, you have your list, you do everything else, You get up at like whatever silly o'clock, apparently. You're getting up at silly o'clock, apparently, he's telling me. You do all your lists. Then you go to bed. You fall into bed. You go to sleep. You get up. You start your list again. You make another list at silly o'clock and you go through. And your lovely daddy's like, do you know what? You need to jump off that treadmill. Now, I understand that sometimes life doesn't allow us to jump off that treadmill. But what your daddy's sort of saying, where are you on that list? And he would have nagged you before. Like your dad's telling me that he would be on the phone. You talk to him at least very regularly. Apparently it's more than once a week. And he's like, he would be telling you this now. He'd be like, Lisa, what have you done for yourself? Or Lisa, are you sure you're not burning a candle at both ends? And your lovely daddy's coming through on the funny shaped telephone hotline called Claire, because your dad is telling me that if he was down here, you'd be getting your phone calls, you'd be getting your checkup. He says, because he would still want to make sure that you were all right. And yes, he knows full well that you would then turn around and say, Dad, you would probably brush it off. And then he said to me that you would then go and ask him, Dad, have you done X, Y, and Z? Or have you took your tablets? Or have you done this? Did you do that? And then your dad will brush it off, because he's joking. He says, me, because you're both as bad as each other, apparently. So even though he would have rung you up and spoke to you and asked you if you were right, possibly told you off, you would brush it off. But likewise, he would brush it off as well. So he's like to come and tell Lisa what she needs to do. He talks to me about, please put off the painting. So somebody's talked about doing some painting and decorating. He's like, please put that off for the moment. It's not that it doesn't need to be done. However, he turns around and says to me that there's not enough time and hours in the day for you, Lisa. So can you please put off the painting? Like I said, it might be that it's in your head or somebody around you. It's in the head as well, because he's like, please, can you put that off? He tells me that March is significant as the birthday passing anniversary. Okay. You're going to be cheeky. Okay, we're doing the months first, sir. Do the March, he tells me. Once I pay, yeah, can you put the Christmas? Okay. Just tell him that your father-in-law, he's or her father in spirit of bossing people down here. You think when you go out there, you'd have a quiet life. You don't, do you, with loved ones? Okay, so he's talking to me about March is significant. Come and talk to me. What other months do you want to give me? May is significant. Cool, brilliant. See, you both on line with each other. May is an important month. And he tells me, what else month do you want to give me, sir? October. He wants to give me loads of months, but he's telling me October is important as well. Okay. He's also said it's okay to hide away, Lisa, this year. If this year's been a really tough one, he's telling you it's okay to hide away is what he's saying. So it's okay to hide away this year if things have just been a bit too much, is what he's asking you. Okay. Frank as well. I need to give you the name. Frank's important, not our Frank in church. He is important, but this is a different Frank. Okay, thank you very much. Anything else, sir, before I move on? There's a Tony. And Tony, give us a date as well. I need to give you the 7th. 7th is what I need to pass over. The 7th is important. It's a birthday passing anniversary as well, Lisa, for you. And with that, Lisa, I'm going to love you and leave you. And that's the kind of line he would be. He doesn't do goodbyes. He said, I don't do goodbyes. He said, I love you and leave you. Love you and leave you. Don't worry, Lisa. But Tony to yes, because I'm going to go to my next person. And my next person is Eileen Payne, as I want to go to. And I don't know whether Eileen Payne will understand the name Frank. So Eileen, if Frank makes sense to you, please cough up, because I'm coming to you next, my dear. Lisa, but your dad wouldn't say goodbye. It's like, I love you and leave. Yeah, I'll catch up with you. It's that kind of goodbye. He don't do goodbyes. It's because it's not goodbye. It's I'll catch up with you later, or I'll love you and leave you. So I'm going to leave his love with you, not a goodbye, because he don't go. And with Dan, and then come to Eileen. Hello, Eileen. I'd like to come and work with you. Hi, my lovely. Right, my 7th my brother's birthday. I'm just catching up on my comments. Oh, there's so many people going off. Right. You know, brilliant. And I've just seen Lisa's bit said he always said love you and leave you for now. So we know Dad's there. Right, hey, I've got your hubby come through. I know you asked for him, but he was coming through. Now, first of all, I said I know Lisa couldn't understand the name Frank. So I don't know if you'd be understand the name Frank. So because sometimes my guide will start throwing in messages as I'm kind of jumping from one place to another. And I mean, would you remember when you first met your hubby, your partner in crime, that you had a very unique style? Because for some bizarre reason, he keeps taking me to the 90s. Hang on, so I got to sort my own makeup out. Not a Frank. Don't worry about Frank then. Not our Frank. We just got Frank in church, unless he says my name, that is. But your hubby, as he's coming in, he's talking to me about a memory linking in with you, and either you had a unique style, or he met in the 90s, or you would remember that the 90s was a really memorable era for you. And the reason being is he keeps giving me, do you remember white eyeliner? It's coming back. So I don't know whether there's been conversations as well around you, and he'll be in with the conversations regarding old 90s makeup, or there's 90s. I know I've got unique style, I've got white eyeliner, and I've got the 90s. So these would be significant, important. If they don't resonate with you at the moment, Eileen, it's not a worry. But there is just this case of it being a unique grab a granny night. So there's just this feeling. Now, as he comes through, he talks to me how he just thought it was all bluster about him passing. Now, not to do with his passing, but how he passed. It was all a bit of a bluster. So he's making me feel that he was either very nonchalant towards it, or it was like, yeah, it's all right, or he thought too many people were making a fuss regarding his passing, because he was like, he's taking me there, and it was like, oh, do you know what? It was a lot of ag, and he's very blasé with that, as in he tried to make it, he knew it was serious. He said, I weren't stupid. I knew it was serious, his passing. He knew it wasn't like, yeah, it was just a lot of faff. It was like, quick, okay. It's just this feeling that he knew it was there, but he didn't want to worry you. He didn't want to worry about the family. And it was all just like, wah! And it was just like, oh my gosh, what a load of faff. And it's that feeling that I know you just used the word quick. It's just this feeling like chaotic, and it's a bit like so much was going on at the time. But he knew, he was aware of it, but he tried to make sure that you wasn't worried. And he talks to me about how he was still worrying about you, even when he was poorly. I knew, because he could see spirit. It was like that. It was like he knew what was going on, but he was still worrying about you, and he'll be like, is Eileen right? And makes me feel that he got really frustrated that he couldn't communicate that either. So he wants you to know that throughout that whole time where he was transitioning from our earthly life to our spirit life, that period where he was in that kind of transitioning bit, he was frustrated. He couldn't say, because he's like, I was more worried about you, and whether things would be sorted out for you, and would you be all right? And and that's what it makes me feel like he was more frustrated in that period of transitioning, that he couldn't look after you. Okay, it's because I've done it all the time. Okay, he also takes me to a picture that I saw today, and it was a picture of a couple. And in one section of the picture, the gentleman looks really down, and he's got these flowers above his head, and his plants are wilting, and his wife, his partner, she was watering him, and her flowers were lovely. And in the picture next to it, it was the other way round. She and her flower was wilting, and his flower was like, his plant was all grown. And what he's trying to show me, as he's bringing in that picture, is that you two were a partner in crime. When he was down, you looked after him. When you were down, he looked after you. It was great when you had a wobble. He said, I wasn't great when she had a wobble. He said, because you was his rock, and he could do the practical things. And when you had a wobble, he said to me, he tried his best to give you that love and support, but it was a bit like, oh my gosh, Eileen's wobbling. But he tells me that even though he's in the spirit world, and you're here and he's in the spirit world, that love and support and you watering each other's plants and watering each other's souls still happens in the spirit world. He may not be able to do it in the same way that he did it before when he was down here and he had a physical body, but he's telling me, please tell Eileen, I am still doing that and I still want to do that, and I'm desperate to look after you and take care of you. He tells me he is glad he's got people around you that are giving you the love and support. He is glad that you've got friends that have become family. So he is so glad you have got friends that have become family. Like your next door, I'm just giving an example, but like the next door neighbour has become the daughter that you might never have had, or something like that. There are people around you, he's glad, that were friends that have become family members, and he's so glad he's got them. He makes my voice croaky as well, so I don't know whether he had a croaky voice before he passed or whether there was something to do with his voice box. He couldn't speak because he's just made my voice a bit croaky, so I want to pass that over to you as well. There's a picture beside you that you always say good night to, or there is something like a routine you've got before you go to bed where you always say good night to him. Okay, he's like you. He loves that routine. He said you've got yourself into a routine. He's like, right, I do this. I brush your teeth and things. I know that's a normal routine, but there's like this routine, and there's this picture, and you say good night to him, and he says good night to you. So know that when you are saying good night to him after your routine, like get the cups ready, put the cat out, put the dog out, whatever you're doing, put the hamster out, I don't know. But he's like, and he's got that lovely sense of humour about him. He's like, put the hamster out, the cat and the dog. That routine you've got where you then say goodnight to him, no, he says goodnight back to you as well. Okay. And I've got to give you a kiss on the nose, and I've got to give you a kiss on the forehead. There's an importance to your nose and your forehead. So I don't know whether you kissed him on his forehead or his nose or vice versa. I don't know, but he's telling me a kiss on the nose. And he is a really big character. Like, I just want to, I love his energy. I mean, I love all your loved ones' energy, but he's just got a lovely energy about him. Like, you knew when you was with him, he'd make you feel good. Just being in his company would make you feel uplifted. And that's what he wants me to do for you tonight. He wants you to come away tonight feeling how you would feel with him. And when you get them silly, girly, giggly moments that you get when you think of him, please know that that's him influences. He is just telling me he's coming through with so much love. He wants to make me, because he's making me love you so much. And it's just like when you get that silly girly feeling when you think about him in a memory, please know that that lovely feeling that you've got is him right beside you, reliving them silly giggly girly moments, and he's just coming through. I mean, spirit doesn't make me cry so much anymore, but there is this real love and passion for you, Eileen, that hasn't gone because he's passed. And like I said, when you get a silly girly, every time I say that and I get all giggly from him, he's like, Eileen's going to get that. There is this exuberance and this energy regarding this gentleman that when he was in the room, he made you feel good, and he just wants you to feel that as well. Okay, let's come in. I'm just conscious of time, so let's give me dates for my lovely lady, your lovely wife, your lovely partner in crime, please. Okay, he talks to me, he gives me the name Robert as well, Rob or Robert, so I need to pass that over to you. There is also a Harry or a Henry, their names I need to pass over to you. Give me some months very quickly, sir. October is important, birthday, passing, anniversary, so he tells me October is important. He tells me that June's important. If that's not a name, it would be a birthday, passing, anniversary, but June's important. And very, very finally, come and give me one more name. February is important, and he's just told me the 22nd. So there'd be a birthday, passing, anniversary in or around February and the 22nd. So it'll be a birthday, passing, anniversary in or around the 22nd. And with that, I'm just going to give him this lovely, girly, giggly love that you would lick when you go, and you would still go gooey, because I'm passing it over to you. And with that, I'm going to close his connection down, because he's just going to make me cry, because he's just one of them people, I can tell. And with that, I'm going to stop talking and say thank you very much for allowing me to work with you, Eileen. And I really hope you've been able to pick up them feelings from him, and know that when you, in your routine, he still says he loves you every single night. And with that, I'm going to stop quiet talking now because I'm conscious it's card time soon. Let Rob talk now.
Hello, Claire. Yeah, good
Hello,
timing.
Rob.
Thank you very much. Well, we'll go to Frank's cards as you rightly say, and then we'll come back for closing prayer, if that's all right.
That's all right.
Perfect. Right, we'll go back to Claire soon. All right, friends. Well, great to have you with us tonight. Thank you for joining along. As Claire rightly said, we have Frank from our church who draws 3 animal cards each week because we can't get round to everyone, unfortunately, even though Claire tries really hard to do as many as she can. So let's see what Frank has for us this week. There's 3 cards here marked by a crystal. Just tune into the crystal and let's see what the uplifting thought for the week ahead is.
Good evening. Oh, excuse me. Our first crystal this evening is the citrine. And with that is the card for the lovebirds. This card is about love, devotion, fidelity, and the resolution of troubles. The lovebirds on this card signal that a relationship has grown much stronger of late. Love is now in full bloom, hearts are joined, and commitments have been made. Lovebirds also indicate the renewing of closeness in a current relationship. In partnerships where things appear difficult, lovebirds show up to reassure you that love still lives and effort should be made to find forgiveness and resolution. They ask that you keep trying to heal the wounds and solve the problems. They can also indicate the giving and receiving of gifts. Lovebirds mate for life and are never separated, except to search for food or nesting material. When not in flight, they hop around together and always sit side by side. They also have a tendency to feed one another, and this symbolises the exchange of gifts. It is thought one cannot survive long without the other, demonstrating the strength of the mutual love and commitment to each other. And our second crystal is the rose quartz, and with that goes the card for the rag doll. The rag doll says, "Congratulations. You've worked hard, and it's really paying off now. Your success has brought you security and the right to take a little time off and to rest and enjoy what you've created. Even if that's just a mini vacation, maybe, or maybe a luxury reward. Be grateful for heaven's gifts, but also to remember to acknowledge that it is your perseverance and dedication that has made all this possible. You may now also suddenly have a brilliant idea for a new business or project, and this will be successful. Ragdoll cats are so named due to their ability to loosely hang like a rag doll when picked up. These very gentle, non-rowdy, calm cats are just as happy following you around as they are hanging out in a warm spot of sunshine. This is the cat who just wants to enjoy the finer things of life, and can be symbolic of creating a beautiful home or workplace for you. Ragdoll kittens mature into quite large house cats, and this symbolises your ability to grow your ideas into something much bigger and to bring success to them. And our third crystal is the amethyst. With that goes the card for the seagull. The seagull says this situation speaks to your ability to think your way through any challenge that is presented to you. Because emotions are not always engaged with the seagull, it's important to remember to be compassionate. In your haste to solve a problem, you could speak more harshly than you mean to, or helpful information may be delivered to you in not the kindest of ways. Check any contacts you have very carefully and gratefully accept objective feedback on them. Seagull represents a person who is excellent at assessing and solving any problems in a flash. However, her desire to be of assistance and her purely analytical way of thinking means she might communicate her solution rather curtly, logically, and perhaps undiplomatically. She is resourceful in a way that may accidentally leave out the pleasantries. She doesn't mean to be unkind. In fact, if she feels she has hurt you, she will be very apologetic. Just remember that she's brilliant and has great ideas, so heed the message and ignore the messenger. If you can see past her lack of compassionate communication skills, she'll be of great help to you now. Seagulls are clever birds who learn, remember, and even pass on behaviour. As their name implies, they spend a good deal of time over water. As water represents emotion and air represents intellect, they are seen as flying high above the currents of emotion and evaluating situations from a very cerebral point of view. A lot of good advice in those cards tonight, very good cards, and I hope you enjoyed them. Thank you for listening to me.
Super. Thank you, Frank. Friends, let's bring the service to a close. We'll go back to Claire for a closing prayer, and then we'll have the closing Vesper as usual. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Rob. What, did you sing his name then? I don't know why. I don't know how I'd sing Rob's name. So thank you, and thank you to Frank's cards. I hope you found the cards really informative. The middle one, the rose quartz, was screaming at me, so I know what the spirit was trying to tell me. Anyway, we shall now come to a close. So now what we do is, for those who've never been to a divine service, we do a closing prayer. This is just about us just taking a moment, take some deep thoughts to our loved ones, and just bringing our energies back down. So again, if you want to close your eyes, that's up to you. But I'll keep mine open for the time being. Dear Lord and Divine Spirit, we send here collectively our thanks to you for bridging the connection between the spirit world and our own. We send love and gratitude to those who've come forward from the spirit world to pass on their messages of love, comfort and upliftment, to give us reassurance that our loved ones are with us at all time, and evidence that there really is life after life. And as your loved ones come to the end of this evening, surround you with a loving healing bubble You might feel a bit of a tingling sensation. That is just your loved ones letting you know that they're there with you. I hope you all had a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Please remember to follow Thundersleep for more events. And with that, I shall say have a cracking Christmas. Remember pressure, and I will see you next year. See you later.
Well, a very big thank you to Claire Pasterfield for tonight's service and your support all year, Claire. We do the first Wednesday of every month, our new mediums night, or our new online mediums. They're already mediums, and coffee mornings you do, and all of that. So really great to have you with us, Claire, tonight. Thank you also to Bex, who was our medium in church tonight. I hope you had a good evening there. It sounded like the church was very full when we were listening to the singing earlier. So I hope that all went well. Thank you to Frank for chairing in church tonight. Thank you to Peter for the Bible reading. And thank you to Frank again for the cards at the end, as you always do, week in, week out. Thank you all for joining us online tonight and sticking with us. As I said in the comments there, the way that Christmas falls this year, we are doing a service every Sunday. So next week is our family service in church and online. But that means there's no medium next week. It's a service for all the family to come and join in. So I hope you can make that either in church or online. And then we're back on the 29th of December. We have Sonia Walton in church and Marie Bailey online. And then we're back again on the 5th of January. So hope to see you at one of those events. But if not, have a great Christmas and a great New Year. And we'll see you on the other side. Take care. Good night.